In this video, I will show you how to reach your subconscious mind. This will help you breaking unhealthy habits and finally make the changes in your life you always desired. Hi, it's Bijan here from coachingonline.org. I'm a life coach with a background in hypnotherapy and systemic therapy. My passion is helping other people exploring and changing their inner subconscious pattern. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I thought about giving you a practical example how I work with a client, so I guess you will grasp best the concept of reaching your subconscious. So I had a client, ironically she was a therapist, and she reached out to me because she had trouble doing her paperwork. So she was very experienced working with people, but whenever she sat down on her desk trying to do some paperwork or tax papers or whatever it is, writing invoices, she felt kind of stuck, felt kind of totally overwhelmed, and didn't know what to do with it. And like it is mostly then afterwards like a downward self-punishing spiral started. So she blamed herself for this behavior, why she couldn't do it, why it's always such an effort for her. I guess this sounds familiar for all of us, that we punish ourselves for things which are going not in our direction somehow. And this is similar to if you decide to make New Year's resolutions. If you say, okay, from tomorrow on I will eat healthy, we'll do exercise, we'll go to the gym every day. So I guess you did this as well and try to change things. And usually it doesn't work like this. So you try to use your logical brain, your prefrontal cortex. It's the part of the brain which is the logic thinking, and it tries to do something, but then reality kicks in. This means mostly our, call it how you want, like your gut, your subconscious. There's a stronger force, habits which are kicking in, and then we feel like it's not working, we can't change it. And there are some powerful techniques which can reach the subconscious, and I will give you some examples in which our subconscious is naturally triggered, and I'm sure you're familiar with this kind of examples. For example, if you hear a song where you kissed the first time a person, and then usually immediately a memory pops up in your head if you hear the song from a long time ago, and you will think like, how nice was this situation. Or maybe you think, oh God, I don't want to think about it. One of these two options, but usually immediately this network in your brain gets triggered. Another example is if you smell your favorite food as a child. So even if you smell it today, it will immediately pop up and networks get activated, and this naturally comes up to you. If you see a picture in advertising which reminds you on something in your life, then also usually in seconds, in split seconds, you have some pictures in your head, some networks are activated. All these things coming from our subconscious. There are plenty of more examples. Touch is another one. So hearing is one. Think about the song, smelling, pictures, if you see something. Touch is another one. If someone touches you at a certain point or in a special way, then it can trigger, can bring up some old things. So these are all techniques which can be helpful to reach the subconscious, and which I use also a lot working with clients to get one level deeper and to help them on a deeper level. So let's come back to my example of my client. She was stuck. So I started to work with her, and I encouraged her to explore her inner view, how it looks inside of her. So I asked her questions, how it feels when she sits there And she answered something like, yeah, it feels like I feel overwhelmed. I feel threatened, like there's something threatening me from behind. And I tried to encourage her. I asked her questions to encourage her building pictures. I explained to her this concept, and I asked her if she thinks about this overwhelmed situation where, from behind. This was interesting that she said from behind. And I asked her, is there something comes maybe to your mind, a picture or anything you could imagine relates to this? And it was pretty interesting. Then immediately she came up with like, yeah, it feels like she came up with a monster from, I guess, Lord of the Rings. So she said, yeah, it feels like a monster which is way taller than me, standing behind me and threatening me like this. This was a pretty powerful picture she came up with. And yeah, and this was pretty amazing, because if you think about it, there's one side of her. She obviously lived in a world where the situation was like this, that a monster threatening her from behind. And if you think about her reaction, then her reaction to freeze, to don't do her paperwork, was kind of appropriate if you see this picture in front of you. So usually stuff we blame each other for, in another context, if you go deeper and see what's going inside of you, our behavior makes total sense. So then in the next step, what I try to help her, I asked her questions if she could maybe change this picture. So we work with this picture because this goes deeper, this goes in a subconscious level. And yeah, she said, yeah. So I asked her, could you, for example, imagine to change the position of the monster? Could you maybe place it from behind of you, bring it maybe in front of you? Or where would be the ideal place where you feel more comfortable with it? How should be the distance? And thankfully she was able to imagine this, to change the picture. I asked her if it's possible to change the size of the monster or the size of you, that the relation changes. So we did several techniques to work with this picture to change it for her. And at the end, I anchored this process with the initial reaction of freezing. So we had such a great progress and such a great flow in the session. I really could see it in her face that at the end of the process, she was so relieved. She felt like the threat was really gone through our work. And yeah, it really helped her to cope better with the situations in the future, and just through working on this deeper subconscious level. I want to give you another example of me personally, where I work with pictures. When it's about sports, for sure I have also this lazy side which says to me, oh yeah, maybe do sports tomorrow. You did today, why today? You did yesterday, why today again? And in these situations, I always work with two pictures in front of me. I imagine two pictures. There's one future self of me in 10 years, which listens to this lazy voice, which listens to it, and this side looks fat and ugly and sits on the couch eating chips, watching TV. So a version of me I really don't like. I don't want to be in the future. And then I have a second picture. This is me in 10 years if I follow my side to do sports. And I see a version of me, very sporty, very good in health, good in shape, inspiring others, fully in its flow. And I try to picture these two pictures, to memorize it in my mind. And then it helps me to get out of my comfort zone, to go out to do sports again. And yeah, so afterwards I always feel great. And this is another example how pictures can help you changing patterns and doing right decisions in certain situations. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the time with me. Always my disclaimer, please be careful, prove everything critically what I'm giving you here. Have a look, how is your situation, how is your reality creation process, and is this reality creation helpful for you or not? So as always, not only my words, all words from other people. Check everything critically if it's working for you. Would be really happy if you subscribe to my channel. Please give me a comment as well below how you feel about the things I spoke. If there are situations where you feel stuck, maybe I can give you some hints, some ideas what you could do. Yeah, I would really love to have a conversation with you about that. Yeah, thank you so much, and I'm happy to see you in my next video. Bye bye.